Haikyuu is an anime about volleyball. It's some people's favorite sports anime. But to me, it's the series that truly made me fall in love with anime. Not because of superpowers or these impossible moves, but because of how real it truly felt. The way it captures growth, rivalry, and the sheer human effort behind every single set and every single spike is just addictive. And no character left a greater mark on me than Oikawa Toru. Oikawa could be considered Haikyuu's greatest side character, and to be honest, he's probably my favorite side character in any show I've ever seen. Honestly, I started out by hating him, and he gives us every right to. He's arrogant, he's cocky, he's flashy, and he's the perfect foil to Kurosano. But that initial disdain quickly fades when you start to understand who he truly is. He's the first person to stop Kurosano in their tracks, a presence they can't simply power through. Yet Oikawa is rarely recognized for what he truly is, one of the most exceptional players in the entire nation. Oikawa first appears in the first season of episode 6, during Kurosano's practice match against Alba Josai. Alba Josai is a prefectural top 4 powerhouse school. The match carries extra weight because of one strict condition. Kageyama must start as the setter and remain there for the entire game. The opening set is a disaster. Hinata's nerves throw off Kurosano's rhythm completely, and they're easily outpaced. Only a serve to the back of Kageyama's head really jolts them awake, letting Kurosano claim the second set. But the illusion of control quickly shatters. Alba Josai isn't even at their full strength yet. Their star setter hasn't played a single minute. That setter is Oikawa. His entrance is theatrical, cheers from the students, confident smirks, and an undeniable aura of skill. At first, he seems like a surface level rival, flashy, arrogant, unlikable even. But as the anime progresses, a different side of him begins to slip through. He is tormented by being ordinary, and that he will never be a prodigy. And that burden drives him to strive for extraordinary. Oikawa isn't just a challenge on the court. He forces Kurosano and especially Kageyama and Hinata to confront their limitations. Every serve he delivers, every clever set he executes, reminds them how far they truly have to go. His presence established the stakes of the show very early on. Talent is not evenly distributed, and the road of excellence is extremely steep. At the core of Oikawa are two defined truths: immense pride and the crushing awareness of being ordinary. His ambition is fierce: to be the best setter, reach nationals, and finally defeat Ushijima and stand at the pinnacle. Yet he knows some players are simply just born different. Ushijima is one, and Kageyama becomes another. Oikawa's envy isn't petty, it's existential. Why does talent exist effortlessly for some when he has to bleed for every inch? This resentment becomes inseparable from his identity. Every serve, every set, every drill is an attempt to overcome what he was born with, and his intelligence only intensifies the pressure. Oikawa can read opponents like an open book. He predicts patterns, anticipates moves, and optimizes his teammates in real time. He turns himself into a masterpiece of technique, precise, disciplined, and elegant. But he knows the brutal reality. He cannot elevate his teammates beyond their natural ceiling. The subtle gap between prodigy and effort defines the elite and separates him from them. He studies patterns obsessively, visualizing possibilities, anticipating every potential counterattack. That intelligence, paired with the relentless effort, is what allows Oikawa to compete with these prodigies. Yet it also sharpens his awareness of limits he cannot overcome, his own and those of others. By his final year in junior high, Oikawa finally begins to crack. Ushijima's shadow looms over him, and now a young Kageyama emerges, another prodigy threatening to surpass him. In frustration, Oikawa nearly hits Kageyama, but Iwaizumi stops him, reminding him he doesn't have to be the one to fight alone. That moment is pivotal. Oikawa stops battling the world by himself. He studies his teammates deeply. their habits, strengths, preferences, he becomes the setter every team dreams of having. Someone who lifts everyone through connection, not domination. Even victory doesn't bring peace. When Abu Josai finally beats Kurasuno in a real tournament, Oikawa walks away exhausted. Relief, yes, but joy, no. Kurasuno wins, and Oikawa's place in their hierarchy shifts once more. But Oikawa grows in ways numbers can't measure. He refines his institution, builds trust with teammates, and learns to harmonize individual talent with collective effort. He becomes the setter who can anticipate the flow of the entire match, adjusting plays on the fly, and amplifying every player's strengths. Oikawa's growth isn't just about skill, it's about emotional intelligence. Learning to rely on Iwaizumi and his team frees him to focus on strategy, technique, and execution. He transformed frustration into fuel, vulnerability into determination. Oikawa's story highlights a very harsh reality. Talent is often born while effort is earned. Hard work doesn't always overcome natural ability. Sometimes it doesn't even match it. The realization of being ordinary can crush a person. Many give up, but Oikawa doesn't. Even in the post time skip in the manga, he carves his own path. He may never be a prodigy he dreamed of, but he builds something equally remarkable: efficiency, elegance, and leadership forged from sheer will. He bends the game to his skill, not through innate talent, but through preparation, intelligence, and persistence. He exemplifies Haikyuu's central truth: volleyball and life isn't only about being extraordinary. Connection, resilience, and refusing to let the world define your value are equally powerful. Oikawa's strategic mind allows him to control the flow of matches, exploit weaknesses, and support teammates in ways others can't. It's a mastery born from discipline and relentless observation rather than just raw talent. Oikawa remains my favorite side character because his story feels unmistakably human. He isn't flawless, he's not the chosen prodigy, the once in a generation talent the story bends around. He is stubborn and he is consistently relentless. He pushes against the ceiling placed above him and refuses to accept that ordinary is a limitation rather than a starting point. And in doing so, he leaves a mark that goes far beyond wins, losses, or even scoreboards. Oikawa's journey reminds us that effort, intelligence, and heart are not consolation prizes for those without talent. They are forces in their own right. That even when the world feels unfair, even when someone else is born a step ahead of you, persistence can still carve out something extraordinary. Excellence isn't always inherited. It's constructed through repetition, sharpened through failure, and defended every time doubt creeps in. Unlike characters who awaken their greatness, Oikawa chooses his. He studies harder, adapts faster, he learns how to read people as well as he reads the court. And while other characters rely on instinct alone, Oikawa relies on preparation, strategy, and the understanding that intelligence can bridge gaps talent cannot. His genius isn't effortless, it's deliberate. Oikawa isn't celebrated because volleyball came easily to him. He's celebrated because it didn't, and he refused to walk away. That's what makes him so compelling. He embodies the struggle of everyone who gives everything they have, who works harder than anyone else in the room, and still feels like the finish line keeps moving further and further away. There's something painfully real in that. The feeling that no matter how much you improve, someone else is called special while you're called persistent. Yet Oikawa never stops fighting the narrative. He doesn't deny his limits. He studies them, challenges them, and learns how to work around them. He adapts, he evolves, and survives. And that's why Oikawa stands out, not as the hero of the story who was built to be celebrated, but as the side character who redefines what strength really looks like. He teaches us that growth isn't always dramatic, that progress often comes quietly, and the resilience can be just as inspiring as raw talent. Oikawa's legacy isn't written in trophies or undefeated records. It lives in the idea that ordinary doesn't mean weak, and that genius doesn't always arrive fully formed. Sometimes genius is forged through obsession, frustration, and the refusal to be left behind. In the end, excellence isn't given, it's earned. It's shaped by loss, protected through effort, and defended every time given up feel easier. That's Oikawa. Not the chosen one, not the miracle. Oikawa is the ordinary genius. I want to thank everyone who reached the end of this video. It means the world to me that you guys watch this content. And if you guys do enjoy, please consider liking. And then if you want, you can subscribe. It is free. I will try and upload another video very soon. If there's any recommendations of another show you want me to talk about, just leave it down below. So, peace.